As COVID-19 hit, I started thinking of ways to spend more time outdoors instead of cramped in confined spaces with a bunch of other people. And like a bunch of other people, I went and bought a really cheap mountain bike. And by really cheap, I mean really cheap, $375.32 shipped. I didn't want to have to worry about shifters and derailleurs and suspension and hydraulics and all those things that require a bunch of maintenance, especially since at that price point, they would be like total garbage anyway. So I went with the Gravity Deadeye 29er single speed mountain bike from bikesdirect.com. Now looking at the bikesdirect.com website, you might think like, is this legit? Is this a scam? But I can confirm that I did send money to bikesdirect.com and they sent me a bike. So in that sense, it is totally legit. So I was out enjoying my new bike and I came across a lawn sign advertising a local Century ride. Now, if you don't know what a Century is, which I didn't either, I had to Google it, but it's a 100-mile ride. So it's like, I guess the equivalent of like a marathon for bikers, cyclists. So I decided it would be a fantastic opportunity for me to test my new bike, test myself, and also give me something to train for and look forward to during these wild times. The route for the Century takes riders up and down the San Francisco Peninsula and consists of mostly paved roads. No, my new single-speed mountain bike is not the perfect bike for this sort of ride. As a matter of fact, it's far from ideal for a couple of reasons. Let's take a look. Out of the box, the Gravity Deadeye 29er has the following features. An aluminum frame, 29-inch wheels with 2.35-inch tires, mechanical disc brakes, a 32-tooth chainring with an 18-tooth rear cog. And that's it. It's a really simple bike, and that's why I bought it. Yes, those tiny little skinny road tires and the ability to change gears as you ride are definitely really beneficial over 100 miles. But there are some optimizations to this bike that I can make so I have a little bit easier of a go of it. The first thing I changed was a tube. I got a thorn in the tire the first time I ever took the bike out. These Chow Yang tires that came on the bike are quite thin. The first real upgrade I made was a riser bar. I always felt a little too hunched over on the stock bars, and the extra inch or two of bar height makes a big difference in comfort. The second upgrade was these universal pedal straps. Being able to contribute to the bike's motion on the upstroke is going to make a huge difference in pedaling efficiency over 100 miles. One thing I noticed when riding the bike in its stock configuration is that I'd spin out around 11 or 12 miles an hour. And that's because the gearing is currently set up for, you guessed it, mountain biking. To make it more street friendly and give myself a little bit of much needed top end speed, I replaced the 18-tooth rear cog with a 16-tooth. Now this gives the bike a nice round ratio of 2 wheel revolutions per crank revolution and allows me to cruise at around 12.5 to 13 miles an hour. Aside from a few additional accessories like a water bottle cage, a down tube mounted battery pack, handlebar mount for my phone, the bike will remain pretty close to stock for the ride. Now I didn't really have a lot of time to train for this, and 50 miles is as far as I've ever gone on a single bike ride ever in my whole life. So both me and my budget single speed mountain bike are a little bit outside of our element on this one. But I am really excited. I can't wait to get out there. We'll see how it goes. So is it possible to do a century on a $375.32 single-speed mountain bike? Yeah, it is. My total ride time ended up being around 10 hours and 20 minutes, which isn't going to be breaking any records. My moving time, according to Strava, was actually a lot closer to 8.5 hours, which means all those rest stops and bathroom breaks along the way really added up. So onto the bike itself. How did the bike hold up? Well, it held up great. I had no mechanical issues whatsoever the entire ride. The bike was solid as a rock. I will say the few upgrades I made before the ride helped tremendously. I was able to achieve a 12-mile-an-hour average moving speed, which just would not have been possible with the stock gearing. And those pedal straps were so important when it came to avoiding fatigue, especially on the climbs. Now I put climbs in quotes because there really weren't any climbs on this ride if you have a bike with more than one gear. But oh, actually there was one thing that broke about halfway through the ride. Shout out to the incredible group of individuals who let me ride with them despite my obnoxious bell and my mountain bike. I think I would have had a much harder ride if it wasn't for their support and camaraderie. If you're apprehensive about joining your local cycling group or participating in an organized ride because you don't have the right carbon fiber road bike or skin-tight cycling apparel, don't worry about it. Just ride what you got. Chances are it's better than what I got anyway. Now, if you have any questions about anything in this video, the bike, the ride, preparing for your first century, buying a bike from bikesdirect.com, anything like that, feel free to go ahead and drop that question in the comments section below.